And hello, Orville Nation. Welcome, everybody. Are you ready for some LATCHKUM? Yeah. Some crazy fan theories. Here we go. And hello, Orville Nation. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see all of you. And are you ready for some crazy fan theories? I've been waiting to do this like since mid-season of season 3, so of the Orville. So let's see who's in here. Hello, Jonathan Myers. Can we bring our special guest Chella Horsdahl from Star Trek Discovery to Orville Nation? I will work on that. I have no problem interviewing her. I will work on that, Jonathan. Actually, Maria and I will be working on that. Thank you for reminding me. It's been I'm definitely not going to be in August, but we will work on that for a near future. So good to see you, Jonathan. I like your logo. Hey, hello, John Sapola. Stream shared truth in Twitter. Thank you guys for sharing. And hello, or Cardinal Sin. I've got some crazy fan theories, but I don't think you want to hear them. Okay. Oh, how crazy are they, Gil? So good to see Jack Beers is in here. Oh, Jack Beers is the king of fan theories. He's a king of theories. John DeMarco and his Luminites. Good to see you, John. Let's see who else is in here. And Maria Tiantelli. JPRPH1. I'm getting better, JPRPH1, at saying your name. And Jonathan Myers. Jonathan Myers wants everything on physical media. Yeah, Jonathan Myers wants everything on physical media. Mr. Lundell, good to see you, Mr. Lundell. Greetings and felicitations. Hip hip hurrah. Tally ho. Good to see you. And Phantom Outsider, good to see you. Where are these hot dogs? Hot dog a stream someday should. Yeah, well, today's a slow day. It's summer, it's August, it's warm. I'll see how long I last in here. It's very hot in this room right now. No, today I got no AC. So some days are a little slower for streaming in the summer, like a Monday. And Phantom Outsider, how about they get either Jill Gerard or Shatner in a flashback as Kelly's father? That'd be great. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about who might be Kelly's dad lately. That's a good. Thanks for bringing that up, Phantom. I like that. And Gil, thank you, my friend. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. I wanted to ask you about, before I read this, I want to ask you about a comment. Love this music. I bet it didn't cause PJ not to get monetized. Tell me you're joking. You're still not monetized? There's no way you're not monetized. I was just on your stream. I didn't notice. Let me see. Well, I can't see it. Gil, Gil? Are you seriously not monetized yet? Is that issue still going on? What the? Um, let's see, guys. This is Cardinal Sin's channel, by the way, and how can you not be monetized? Don't I can't believe that issue's still going on. Hold on, this is Cardinal. Yeah, this is Cardinal Sin's channel. Okay. So let's see if so Gil, are you still not monetized? Let's see. This is Cardinal Sin. Make sure you are sub to Cardinal Sin, guys. A grossly under subbed channel. He has got some content on there that is mind blowing, to be honest. Really. You guys want to check out Masters of the Genre, and what does it see before I read his super chat? They're incredibly vague. They were incredibly vague. They said my content was repetitive. I have a license for Envato elements, and they copyright notice me every time, and I send them the license every. Wow. I don't know. Okay, wow. I want to talk to you about that later, maybe. That is, yeah. I'm sorry, man. The algorithm doesn't know that. I have to redo all my openings. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, thank God the license I have for this music doesn't get me. Thank God it doesn't. I don't have any problems with it because I use it every day. I see what you're saying, Gil. So thank you, Gil. Thank you for that super chat. Just because there's a Goose Land in front of Ted, a Goose Island in front of Ted. I love Goose Island. I've been to Goose Island, the original brew pub in Chicago. It's a real island. All the taps have goose heads on them. So cool. Really? Wow. I don't remember being there. I don't think. Wow. That's cool. So yeah, guys. Crazy. Thank you, Gil, so much for that super chat, my friend. And make sure you are subbed and watching Masters of the Genre and everything else that Gil does. I was just on his stream right before this one. He was doing another unboxing, and his unboxings are lots of fun too. They are probably the more mellow ones to watch because he doesn't have any guests. But they are fun to watch too, and Gil's very generous with all his followers, and he shows everything. He shows everything off in his brand new studio that he's building there. Thank you, my friend, and hail to Cardinal Sin, and hail Dave's Dimension. Good to see you, Ghostbuster. Hello, Tokyo Trekker. Sorry, I'm late to the party. Now we can start the party. And excuse me, my throat is a little scratchy today. Excuse me 1 second. Alrighty. Oh, you broke 600. That's great, Dave. That's great. Guys, make sure you put in your channels, everybody, now, like Tokyo Trekker, John DeMarco, and because we have lots of people watching the replays, and even though you might think everybody in here is sub to you, not everybody watching is sub. I would suggest putting them in at the beginning, so please do so. How about next season? They have Isaac run a simulation, and Isaac teams up in a simulation with Robbie the Robot and the Robot from Lost in Space. Oh wow, that would be funny. I love that. I love the Robot from Lost in Space, and Robbie. Wow. I like that idea, Phantom. Yeah, let's do some simulator episodes, right? All right. So today, and thank you guys for putting in other people's channels as well and your own. There you go. That's Tokyo Trekker's channel. That's Maria's channel from Dave putting it in. And robot. So yeah, listen, season 3 is officially over, and It's time to talk crazy conspiracy. It's time to talk crazy fan theories about season 4. And not just season 4. I got a doozy for you. And I'm going to say that I haven't heard anybody mention what I'm going to talk about tonight. Um, it's a little out there. If anybody could pull it off, it would be Seth for sure. If anybody could pull it off, it would be Seth. There he is. There is the chief lurker of our greater nerd community, Doctor and author Adega Outlaw. And please, Dr. Adega Outlaw, please put in your Amazon links. Please put in your Amazon links, my friend. No, season 4 has not been announced. Season 4 has not been announced yet. I think it's a no-brainer that they're going to do it. We're just waiting. Which reminds me, make sure you guys are doing the hashtag Renew the Orville challenge, and you are watching Orville every day. Make sure you're watching some Orville every day. If you're like some of us, you probably leave it going and probably leave it just going and going and going. Renew the Orville challenge. Yes, that means you're watching Orville every day until it's get renewed. Yes, there you go. Don't forget, guys, renew the Orville challenge. Watch some Orville every day. Make sure you're watching some season 3 every day. And if you've been through it and you've done your rewatch already, leave it playing in the background while you're making lunch, while you're helping the kids, while you're cleaning your room, while you're doing whatever. And hello, Captain Fandom Nerd. Good to see you, Cap. Put in your channel, please. Hello, Hexalon Comics. Good to see you, Hexalon Comics. And I think I'm losing my voice, but we got to get through this live stream. I can lose it later. So yeah, guys. So renew the Orville challenge. Make sure you're watching the Orville a little bit every day. Make sure you're watching some of season 3. And my fan conspiracy theory is that there is no season 4. No, we can't talk. No, that's like blasphemy on this channel, Cardinal Sin. No, I think I'm just joking. But well, no, it is kind of blasphemy, to be honest. But I think it's a no-brainer that there's a season 4. It's in my opinion. And I also think that they know they're going to get renewed, or they think they're going to get renewed. We saw them handle, for example, San Diego Comic-Con in a way of a show that's getting renewed, in my opinion. And hello, Maria. Thank you, Maria T and Telly. Tears and Telly the other night. What a show. What a show on Tears and Telly. Good to see you on her Spiritual Tuesday show. It was a teary, emotional Tears and Telly, but it was great. Guess what, PJ? El ave es la palabra. Very funny. El ave es la palabra. The bird is the word in Spanish. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for all the supporting, PJ, or that we grow together. Thank you, Maria. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, T and Telly. Maria, what would we do without Maria? What would I do without Maria? Maria, please put in your channel. Thank you, Maria. Please put in your channel. And guys, make sure you are subbed to T and Talks a Lot. I mean, T and Tears and Telly. I mean T and Telly. Whatever she is. She's one thing every day. Some days she's one thing, some days she's another, but she's always Maria. And there is Adega's Amazon links. Make sure you guys are checking those out. Someday you will see Adega's stuff on the big screen. Make sure you are reading Adega's stuff before it gets on the big screen. I don't think to be honest, I don't think it makes any sense from my point of view. Yeah, I know you're absolutely right, Gil, in that the Star Trek can do it, but Star Trek was doing it to Star Trek was doing it to save their ratings, in my opinion. Try to create excitement because there was a lack of excitement. And I don't see the Orville announcing during the season. So I think we're going to get that hopefully soon. I would hope. And listen, Disney, Disney's got to look at the bottom line, and the Orville is an asset that you would be in. The Orville is an asset that you'd be an ass not to renew, in my opinion. So get with it, Disney. Mercer Create. Instead of season 4, they jumped to season 5, then back to season. I love that, Phantom. And now that Phantom brings that was a great comment, Phantom. And yes, and the Orville, if anybody could do it, the Orville could do that. Okay. Orville scares the disco people. Hello, Stony Girl. Good to see you, Stony Girl. So now that Phantom Outsider has brought that up, let's start talking a little crazy fan theory. I'm going to throw some crazy fan theory out there. It's about as crazy. All right, what I'm going to say is about as crazy as it gets. Okay, it's about as crazy as it gets. Trek announcements, our investors' pitches. Picard 3 was already filmed, so that I was chalked up to hype. The D could be the Disney could be taking a sit and watch approach before announcing. Yeah. So one of the things that actually is going to help the Orville out is that if you're doing the Renew the Orville challenge, guys, watching it on Disney Plus helps. They're seeing how it does on Disney Plus, even though it's already been premiered on Hulu. So if you can watch it on Disney Plus, it helps. And hello, Martin. Good to see you. Perhaps we might get some movies instead, prefer some seasons, but who knows? I do prefer the seasons. Martin. Let's see. Let me put up a few images here. But what did you do it for the Orville, John? But it's okay if you're not getting Disney Plus. At least watch it on Hulu. Okay, you do rewatches on Hulu. But I hear some people are upset at Disney. I get it. Star Wars is not all it's cracked up to be. In many ways, they've been dropping the ball with Star Wars. And listen, we're because the Orville is under the Disney umbrella doesn't mean now that we just blindly just say Disney. We gotta let Disney know what's not good, and Star Wars has not been good. The Boba Fett series and the Kenobi series have been kind of letdowns in many ways. No, I won't give Disney Plus my hard-earned cash. The delivery raise the price. Oh yeah. Love the first and last episodes of season 3, says Carlson. Still cheaper than Netflix, says Stony Girl. All right, guys. Let me put some images up. Now, listen. I want to how do I say this? I want you guys to think for a minute. What's next on the plate for Seth and crew and some of the crew, I should say. Some of the crew, including some of the cast. What's next on the on their plate? Before even season 4, even before they even start to work officially on season 4. Let's think a little bit about what's next for Seth and the gang, and there's a few people working on this new project, and that project is, of course, Ted, right? And this is what's coming up, Ted, and they're already working on it, and of course, Jaloja, Dan Crane, good to see you. I have a feeling that Seth knows they've been renewed, but he's figuring out the logistics for filming and release of season 4 starting in January. I'd like to see them go back to 23 episodes. Uh, I think you're right about most everything there, Phantom Outsider. They're figuring stuff out. I don't know if they can go back to 23 episodes. I mean, anything's possible, but I'm not sure that they're going to go back to. I'm not sure that they're going to go back to 23 episodes. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? But I mean, like, what? Considering what we saw when we got basically got 10 short film. I mean, short. We got 10 films, like 10 TV made for television films. Um, I see it a little difficult that they would go back to 23 episodes. Of course, that would be amazing. But we interviewed Brendan, Brendan Fayette the other day, and just to think of what that would mean to do 23 episodes for them of what they've been doing. I'm sure it could be done, but they've done so much. When you look at the quality of the work, it really is more than we believe. All right. Let me read this before I say what I'm going to say. Seth has to return to Hellboy franchise for a third film. Can't announce the renewal because he has a German accent. That's that's funny, Cardinal. Seth has to return to the Hellboy franchise. Yeah, maybe longer than 10 episodes, maybe like 13 or 14. That'd be nice. Hey, Nate, good to see you, Nate. Bob Chapek would be stupid not to renew the Orville with Star Wars and Marvel on the decline. He needs a win. Yeah. Star Wars and Marvel have been dropping the ball, and the Orville gives more bang for their buck. Totally, absolutely. Every episode of film, says Cardinalson. Yeah. All right, guys. So, crazy fan theory here that I've been thinking about, and I've been waiting since mid-season of season 3 to talk about. And this is a wackadoo. This is really wacky here. Now, why do we have a picture of Ted up here? So Ted is the next project that they're all focused on, right? Ted is the next project that they're all focused on. And it's interesting because, I mean, it's a very different format from sci-fi. Now, what's really interesting to me is that some of the people they've been picking some people from the production crew, and they have been and they picked one person from the cast to take to Ted, right? And hello, Kigo Rogers, good to see you. Ted TV series, yeah. And now let's just take a closer look at this, guys. And I know that you guys are going to say this is totally nuts, but think about this. Who have they picked? Who have they picked to take back to do a TED series, set in the 21st century? And they picked Scott Grimes. And I'm just going to throw this crazy idea out there, you guys. Notice that they pick the only character, the actor who plays the only character on the Orville who might have whose character on the Orville might be somehow stuck in the 21st century. Where am I going with this? What if, let's say, we know that, let me just pull up a few images here. And let's see. So, and this is not the image I want to put up, but this is a funny image, so I'll pull it up one sec while I put up the other one. So we know that this guy, we know that Scott Grimes here, his character on the Orville has a thing for the 21st century. In fact, he has such a thing for the 21st century that his characters even insisted on living his life out in the 21st century. Season 4 will see all the characters in Starfleet uniforms, and they won't say anything about it. Let Kurtzman sue. I would have said that before, but now that's funny. That's funny, Carl. But the Orville is so much its own thing. Like Star Trek wishes they could be the Orville. Seriously. Hello, Doc Civil. Hello, dudes. I've got an announcement for next week. That's Orville related. Yeah. Go ahead, Doc. We are listening. So Doc Civil says, I've got a big announcement for next week that's Orville related. So please you can feel free to lay it on us, my friend. Good to see you, Doc Civil, in here with us. Let's hope Seth can balance both shows. He seems like a hardworking fellow. Yeah, well, from what we've been hearing, filming of Ted won't take that long. Like filming Ted won't take that long. So, gotcha. I meant I'll announce it in next week. Gotcha. Big to me anyway. Okay. Doc Civil. Let's see. Hold on. Let me just check 1 second. Doc Civil. Am I now, Doc Civil? You have a YouTube channel, correct? Let's see if Doc Civil does. Dr. Civil have a YouTube channel? And I think so. I am now sub to your YouTube channel, Doc Civil. Here is a wrench for you, Doc Civil, and feel free to put in your channel. Oops. Feel free to put in your channel so everybody can sub to it. So Doc Civil's got an announcement next week, and so I assume Doc Civil will be doing that announcement on his channel. So there you go. Make sure you guys are subbed to Doc Civil, guys. I simply asked a cameo from the Muppet and Ted. It would be it would be fun to see each through a double take while passing each other. That would be fun, yeah. There's Captain Phantom Nerds channel, guys. Make sure you're subbed to that. And awesome. Well, yeah, dude. Put in your channel and make sure you guys all sub to it. So Scott Grimes, whose character Gordon has a affinity for the 21st century because, of course, his Laura Huggins, his Gordon Malloy's sweetheart, is in the 21st century, right? And we know. By the way, so we know that one version, at least one version of Gordon lived out his life I listen. I know they say they kind of screwed up a little bit with that episode 6 and maybe their time thing wasn't correct and whatever. I don't care. I gotta say, actually, I'm not even sure I buy it completely, to be honest. And guys, there's Doc Civil's channel. Make sure you're subbed. And yeah, there is a little bit superhero fatigue. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Dan Crane. Thank you. And people are subbing to Doc. There you go. We all grow together, guys. Hey, Tim, good to see you, Tim. Make sure you're putting in your channel too, my friend. So, by the way, let's read this. Well, let me read this to you, what it says here. Let me blow it up a little bit because I can't even see it unless I blow it up. Yeah, okay. Mr. Malloy died peacefully at his home in Pasadena, California on July 12, 2068. He was an exceptionally skilled pilot and maintenance mechanic for a local charter airline. He moved to Pasadena from rural Connecticut in 2018 and married his beloved wife, Laura Huggins, a singer and teacher, the following year. Little is known of Mr. Malloy's life before he moved to Pasadena. According to acquaintances, he earned his private pilot license in his late teens, and he was largely self-taught as an aircraft mechanic. Colleagues described him as one of the most intuitive, insightful aerospace specialists they had ever known. And of course, we're reading what the crew was reading when they found out that Gordon had been in the past, and then Gordon sent them a message for them to rescue that, telling them that he was in the past on Earth. Colleagues described him as one of the most intuitive, insightful aerospace specialists they'd ever known. Oh, yeah, with a knowledge of engines, aerospace dynamics, and electronic flight systems surpassing that of many graduates of top-tier universities. In a career spanning more than 3 decades, Malloy logged some 25,000 flight hours in a variety of commercial and experimental aircraft. He was certified to fly contra-rotating twin propeller planes, single, twin, triple engine jets, and late in his career, hypersonic transatmospheric vehicles powered by liquid, hybrid, solid, and metallic hydrogen-fueled rocket motors. So this is a great little bio they put it together. His favorite flying machine was a single-seat, jet-powered stunt plane he designed and built himself. Yeah, and for anybody who's a pilot, and I say this because I've flown myself. Anybody who's flown, your favorite plane is a stunt plane for sure, because some of basically these big larger planes, it's kind of like driving a bus in the sky. And not that it's not cool, but it can be for a pilot, it can be a little boring, to be honest. Although he clearly had the skills and expertise, he never sought to break records or impress his fellow pilots with extraordinary maneuvers, preferring to keep a low profile and spend his off hours tinkering with the engine of his classic German sports car and home-built stunt plane. He received numerous offers to fly private aircraft for wealthy business executives and famous celebrities for much more money than he earned on local charter flights, but something, as anyone knows, he never availed himself of those opportunities. After work, alas, I think he says. Anyway, after work, Mr. Malloy spent most of his free time with his wife and son. He was a devoted father and loved to take his family hiking and camping in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and in the first weeks of summer on cross-country drives to the coast of New England. His wife, Laura, described him as a homebody and a bit of a prankster. Even in the most trying times, she said Gordon could always make her laugh. He enjoyed watching old movies and classic sitcoms and attending his wife's occasional musical performances at local clubs and coffee houses. Malloy retired from the aviation business in 2049, but continued to consult on various transportation-related engineering projects, focusing in his last years on magneto-electric propulsion systems for hovercraft. His passion for aircraft mechanics and flying was only exceeded by his love for his family. He survived his wife, Laura, his son, Edward, and 2 granddaughters. Funeral services will be private. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that donations be to Mr. Malloy's name be made to the Altadena Cat Sanctuary. And I thought I wanted to add, by the way, that's really cute about the Cat Sanctuary, because we all know that Gordon was the one who wanted a bridge cat. And so they want to he says they prefer, instead of flowers, donations to his to the cat sanctuary in Altadena, California. So interesting. Now I think it's fascinating here that and where I'm going with this, what if Ted was actually I'm sorry, what if Ted was actually not a magic teddy bear, but a construct built by Gordon Malloy to keep his son Edward company in the event he was to leave. Dun dun dun. That's where I'm going, Phantom Outsider. That's where I'm going. Um, what if we see here that Ted has actually something to do with Gordon in the 21st century? What if Ted has something to do with Gordon in the 21st century? Wouldn't that be amazing? What if we start watching Ted and Scott Grimes' character is Gordon Malloy? I mean, what? Wouldn't that be insane? Has has Seth actually set up some ingenious situation here for his Ted series to be a spin-off, a partial spin-off of the Orville? Um, Phantom Outsider, says Maria. Hello, Papa Delta Yankee. Good to see you. And let me see if anybody else came in while I was reading. And Orville, I can't get behind a TV show with a ship that goes faster than light without seatbelts. Okay. Well, if they're going faster than light. Okay. Well, listen, the seatbelts, I know. All right. Well, I think that Carlson's kidding, of course. But Bridge Cat. So listen, I mean, what is it? It's not that it's if anybody could do it, it would be Seth, right? If anybody could connect Ted and the Orville, it would be Seth. And the only cast member they pick is the one whose character has an alternate timeline where he's in the 21st century. And he's an amazing Malloy is a great pilot, and of course, with his knowledge of with his future knowledge, he could build Ted. Who knows? He could build Ted, and maybe that's why Ted exists. Let's see. I want to put up one more picture here, and so this is a crazy theory, but listen, if anybody could do it, and if anybody should do it, it would be Seth. If you're not subbed to these awesome creators, please do. Yes, please sub to everybody in the all these creators who are putting in their channels, guys. Let me see. What's the other image I wanted to put up? You guys remember this image, right? And I think it's really cute how I think it's kind of cute how Orville Production has kind of said that, oh well, yeah, we kind of goofed up with this episode, and so they and now here's this image here. We don't know if we'll find out eventually what this means. There was like 5 different Gordons here, right? When he's thrown back by the Aronov device, but what if one of these Gordons is the Gordon who is going to be in the Ted series? And maybe it's not just Scott Grimes. Maybe it's Gordon. Maybe it's Scott Grimes and Gordon Malloy who are going to the Ted series. What do you guys think about that? You can grab Malloy from the time stream or have him go back to the Orville with the rest of the crew, but not both. Well, I mean, it's about, it has to do with it has to do with how they're going to interpret time for this series. Really, I know what you're saying, Gil, but I mean, if they're going to go ahead and interpret time in a certain way, where there can be offshoots, it would be better if I work on the blue screen. I don't know. I think anything's possible. There was so much good about this episode. I'm not going to stress about the minutiae. Yeah. Yeah. That's By the way, I actually think we're not done hearing about time on the Orville. We're gonna get more of it. I know paradox, um, paradox. Unless time is interpreted in a different way, though. Unless there's an alternate universe created at every split second in time, right? Hello, loyal order of classic TV. Loyal order of classic TV. This theory connecting the Orville and Ted doesn't hold water. Yeah, it doesn't hold water. That's why it's a crazy theory. But we love speculating on this channel. So that's why I'm I'm throwing it out there. As if Trek ever really understood time travel. That is a valid point. And listen, in science fiction, because none of us really understand time travel. Nobody understands time travel absolutely. There can be various interpretations of time travel. Gordon was flung back in time into multiple dimensions since Phantom Outsider. Let's do a little thing here. Let's count our Gordons. Let's go count our Gordons. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3. There's another one here. And I'm going to say actually something else. There's another one here with his arm in the air. 4. And this one is 5. This is obvious. But some things people didn't recognize. I think that this is another hand from maybe a different Gordon. So there's 5 or 6 Gordons in here. And so this is the head of a 4th Gordon with his arm up in the air. But there's a hand here. It seems like there's a hand here and a hand here. Is that not? I think there might be even another Gordon in here. Anyway, there's at least 5 Gordons in here, if not more. That looks like a ghostly figure there. I'm just looking now. I'm starting to see if there's a I'm starting to look to see if there's an Easter egg Ted in here. Is there an Easter egg Ted? Is there an Easter egg Ted in here? I don't know. Is there an Easter egg Ted in here? Well, if you guys are welcome to look through this image yourselves too, on your own, and let us know what you think. Maybe the deflector hitting the Aronoff device created 5 parallel dimensions. Well, yeah. Well, that's what's implied. That's what's implied right here. Theatrically, it's implied. If no actors can come back from another season, could they do the Orville Next Generation with Isaac being only continuing character, or Finn boys grown up? I mean, wow, that'd be interesting. But if no actors can come back, I guarantee all actors will come back. Everyone. And one thing we're going to talk about next time we're going to talk about, just giving you guys a heads up. Next time we're going to talk about the rumor, this crazy rumor that Seth is leaving the Orville. And yeah, that's a bunch of baloney. And so we're going to talk about that next time. And let me also mention this now. Our first members stream, which I'm going to announce this week, our first members stream is going to be focused on Norm and Yaphet. So our first members only stream is going to be focused on Norm and Yaphet. And yes, we have memberships now, guys. It's flat rate for everybody. It's a $1.99 flat rate. So welcome. You're welcome to join. And we're going to be having the monthly members only stream. very soon. How many Gordons does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Yes, Tokyo Trekker. Hail all different writers see it for whatever works in their story. Yeah. I mean, time can be interpreted differently. Eventually, there will be an episode where Gordon calls out for help. They're everywhere. Wesley Crushers. Oh no. Hello, MA. I'm not sure how long the Orville live action can last, but Seth sure has a very good track record with animation. The Orville animated series, please, says MA. Ooh, interesting. Hello, Nyla Shadow. Is there a Gordon in a Starfleet uniform hidden in there? Oh, that's a good question. We were looking closely in there, and we're looking closely, and is there a Gordon in a Starfleet uniform in there? That's an interesting question. Let's see. Let's take a closer look. I mean, all right, that's not Starfleet. This one's not Starfleet. Doesn't look like that's Starfleet. But maybe this guy in here? That's too hard to tell. This guy? This guy, I see, this should be like the red patch in the front of a uniform. I don't know. That's a good thing. I do think, listen, with all the Easter eggs that we might find, I think it's worth taking a better look at this picture. I think it's worth, thank you, Nihilus. It's definitely worth taking a better look at that picture. Who knows what we might find? Orville reminds me of when the Ancient One knocked Dr. Strange out of his body. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yes, Cardinal Sin. Likely it is in the Adventures of likely it as in the Adventures of Gordon Malloy across the 8th dimension. To the Orville Star Galactica with special guest Seth Lorne Green. That's funny. I wish you were on 2 Saturdays ago on the 13th. Oh. I was thinking 1960s animated commercial, not that. Okay. Orville TAS next. Will there be an Orville TAS next? What Phi, what do you mean by TAS? Forgive me. Enlighten me. What do you mean by TAS? Wave graviton particles hits the Orville and switches the crew of a mirror universe. If I was Seth, I would totally hide Star Trek references all over. Well enough to avoid being sued, but enough for fans to find the Easter eggs. Yes. And they have done that on some occasion. They're not identical. They're very similar. We're not ready for a TNG of the Orville. They need to do a TS season for. What do you guys mean by TAS? Forgive me. What do you guys? Oh, animated series. Oh, sorry. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Sorry. I need sleep. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I mean, yeah. By the way, we're gonna get David Cabeza on really soon. We're gonna work out the details, and we're gonna talk about the Orville comics, and so that is coming up in the fall, and so we're gonna be talking to David. By the way, Pranakasha Productions had a great interview with David, his first interview. And we're gonna do a bilingual interview with David, because even though he did a great interview in English the other day, but we're gonna do something similar. So listen, guys, I know this sounds absolutely totally nuts, right? But I'm going to say this to you. Don't put it past Seth. Don't put it past Seth to somehow connect Ted and the Orville. And it seems absolutely unconnectable, but we've seen in television, we've seen weirder things happen in the past. Yes, they should do an Orville animated series and introduce a 3-armed navigator. Oh, it's interesting, John. That is interesting, John. Make sure you put in your channel, John. Need a simulation episode. Various crew are trapped in old shows. Bored as PI with a mustache. Absolutely. Yeah, we need simulator episodes. We do. You know, it would nice to see what's his name? Alex back. And they're stuck in a show, like in a Seinfeld show, with Alex meets George. Yeah, I have. I just didn't. It didn't click. The TAS did not click with me. That's what happened. The abbreviation TAS did not click with me right now. Maybe Ted is actually a time traveling alien. Oh, fine. Listen, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And I know this is bananas, but even if the Orville and Ted are not openly connected, I'm going to say this. Even if they are not openly connected, I think that we will have instances of a Gordon Malloy connection on Ted. That is my prediction. Even if they're not openly connected, we will have, moments of, maybe breaking down the fourth wall. Hello, Jeff B. Good to see you. Breaking down the fourth wall and somehow just between Scott Grimes and the audience. Ed and Kelly trapped in Honeymooner sitcom. There you go. 3-arm navigator is a reference to TAS. Okay. I don't remember. Like, I saw it when I was little, very little. And I have not seen it since. John DeMarco. Thank you guys for refreshing me, because I have not seen the animated series since, just like bits and pieces. Bearing in mind this is Seth's take on Star Trek. Who would like to see Seth's take on Quantum Leap in a similar vein? Interesting. Well, let me say this. Seth, I mean, I don't know if Seth has, because of Seth's Peacock deal, I don't know if he has any involvement with the Quantum Leap. I don't know if he has any involvement with that. Probably not. By the way, the podcast guys did, and we had to talk more about this. The podcast guys talked to Scott Bakula's publicist, and Scott Bakula's publicist told them straight up, listen, Scott wanted to be part of it, and NBC said they didn't want him, and that's that's kind of sad to hear. And that makes me think that Seth is not involved with it. Of course, ultimately, ultimately these TV execs made all the silly decisions. Hey, Professor Brainy Specs, good to see you. I consider Star Trek TAS season 4. They are that good. Oh, wow. No, I remember them. I remember them being good. And I just have not got around to seeing them. Good to see you, Professor Brainy Specs. And Professor Brainy Specs, if you just got here, yeah, PJ's gone off his rocker and saying that Seth is going to somehow connect Ted and the Orville, and that's why he took Seth Grimes with him to Ted. And so PJ is totally off his rocker. But if I'm right, If I'm right, you guys are going to remember me. Gordon and John in a time tunnel, like episode of Isaac, Dr. Talia in a Western. Gordon and John in a time tunnel like episode, and Isaac and the Doctor and Tala in a Western. Okay, wow. Okay, my dudes, heading off. It's a good night, John Sapola. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for hanging out. That's true. TS is a perfect follow up to. You know what? I've never referred to the animated series as TAS. To be honest, I've never referred to that and I've never referred to it myself as TAS. Boo-hoo. In a world where the Orville no longer exists and Kurtzman Trek reigns supreme. Oh, no. Cardinal Sin, what are you saying? What are you saying, Cardinal Sin? Check out the other podcasts I read since they did a rewatch of this. Some TS are good, says Phi. Oh, you think that too? Are you thinking it too, or are you just saying if I want to bet? Let me say. So, Professor Jeff, are you also thinking that? Am I correct in understanding that? Oh, Jeff doesn't think that. Okay, he thinks I'm totally crazy, and if I want to make a bet, yeah. Yeah, PJ's off his rocker, but I admit it, I'm off my rocker. But the Orville encounters a space-time anomaly that throws the ship into a universe in which Bortus has a porn stash. Why not? I see that's totally viable. Cardinal Sin. Kurtzman Trek reigns supreme in the mirror universe. Oh. I'm a little tired of the mirror universe, man. Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, it is hard for me to watch Discovery. Except for maybe a reference or two, wink, wink. I don't see. That is, I think that is a given that we're going to have a little reference from, particularly maybe from Scott Grimes, and so that's almost a given, I think. But we'll see. I really wanted to see a Gordon and John episode. Great chemistry there, absolutely. They could be trapped in a shuttle or stuck somewhere. Yeah, hopefully we will get that. The problem they have with 10 episodes, even though they're jam packed, that is one of the problems they have with those. And one of the things they could do next year is have more episodes, but they could have a couple of 50-minute episodes, maybe even 48. And they could do a couple of shorter episodes where they could have it would be a nice mix. Just I mean, I don't even listen. Like when we were talking about, like, for example, when you see some of the stuff like in The Mandalorian, for example, where you have one episode is literally half the time of another episode. I mean, that's too much. But the Orville has a lot. The Orville has a lot they can play with there. I don't think the Orville would connect with Ted. A Million Ways to Die in the West, on the other hand. You don't think the Orville would connect with Ted? A Million Ways to Die in the West, on the other hand, says Nihilus Shadow. Interesting. A Million Ways to Die in the Mirror Universe, says Fi. Everything from episode 2 to 9 could have been left out entirely. Oh, Cardinal Sin. Cardinal Sin? Did you see episode 9? Did you see episode 9, Cardinal Sin? Excuse me, I am losing my voice, guys. They should make that a future episode title, A Million Ways to Die in the Orville. They should do that, Nihilus. Totally. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Um, amortizing costs for another season. It makes more sense to do a full length episode, especially if they need to rebuild the sets from scratch. Yeah, what a shame. Like I don't wow. What a shame about having to build. I would hope, I would hope and listen, I know that I don't know anything about Hollywood industry, but I'll tell you what makes sense. What makes sense would be to rent a piece of land, build a regular warehouse on that piece of land, and in that regular warehouse, you build a kick-ass studio. That's all you need, and you leave that up. You leave that up, and it'd be definitely it would cost a lot less than any Hollywood studio, and you leave that up as a museum. You leave that up as a museum for the fans, and a place of pilgrimage for the fans. I know I say it every time, and I know I see producers give me crazy looks when I say that, but listen, I'm right. That's what should be done. That's what should be done. It should be left up, assuming that there's enough fandom to maintain it over the years. The Orville is going places, though. There are some great episodes in there. They weren't all about Topa. John DeMarco. They weren't all about Topa. Girls think I think you were watching the wrong show. It's the Orville New Horizons that you want to watch. Oh, yeah, you guys are. Uh, or Disney Star Wars shoots in a shipping container. Um, sure. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, from a business point of view, how you would run another business. The last thing you would do is tear down. If you're going to build it, again, this time you build it to stay on property on property that's a little bit outside the city limits and a little bit rural area, and you leave that for the fans on cheap land. You film there. You do everything there. That's what makes sense. And I know people are going to say you don't understand the industry, but I understand business, and that it doesn't make business sense to the way they do things. So I don't mean like Seth and the crew. I mean like the way Hollywood does things in general. Actually, do an episode, A Million Ways to Die in Space. Get Dwight Schultz. Oh, Dwight Schultz is awesome. To guess as a retired Union officer who's lost his never after facing death so often in the past. Yeah, who's lost his mind, right? I think that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, Dwight Schultz does. Mental instability so well. He did it as Murdoch and Barkley. What a freaking amazing actor that would be to have in Orville. It's interesting because Dwight Schultz is somebody I reached out a while ago to have on Orville Nation. This was like 2 years ago before COVID. But we might go back to him. Now that we're a slightly bigger channel, I'd like to get bigger. We're still tiny. So Dolly Parton song "Try" blended with the Orville leaving the nebula was amazing. It was. It was a very memorable moment for sure. Mercer Create. Thank you for sharing that. Are we sure the sets are not in storage? Thomas dodged the question anytime he was asked. Well, we're not 100% sure about anything. They're definitely not up. Maybe parts of them were saved. And maybe they are in storage. But what we heard is that they're definitely not up. And they're definitely not up. So that's a good question, loyal order. The only problem with that theory, Gordon, isn't that smart. You know, listen, he's not that smart. Okay, he's not that smart about. There's all kinds of. It's interesting you bring that up, Nate, because all right, he's not that smart about, like, for example, listen, there's a lot of there's like a lot of scientists who are just like social misfits, for example, or they do the dumbest stuff. But if you talk about engineering, or hard science, they know all about that. I would think somebody like Gordon, uh, is an ace pilot, and he knows everything about his vehicles that he pilots, or most everything about the vehicles that he pilots, and he probably in his knowledge of future technology, and maybe he can build a TED. Maybe he builds it for his son. Who knows? Maybe he builds it for his son, in order to protect him. Who knows? It's amazing how much depth the Orville has. Absolutely, it does. Oh, lost his nerve. Gotcha, gotcha. Yes, Dwight Schultz, fandom. Um, there was where was Dwight Schultz? Transporter accident dumps him on Orville, where he turns into a giant spider. That's funny. Yes, Fi. Um, agree with Mercer, says Jack Beers. Yes. I should be so tiny, says Cardinal Sin. Maybe James Colley will do an Orville experience exhibit at his place in Ticonderoga. You know, I want to go visit that. I want to turn it into a field trip for Orville Nation at some point. Go visit that. Make a little video, get a tour, because that's a special thing. And I kept telling DJ, if we ever get any money, we should build an Orville on his farm in Illinois. If we ever get money for that, if I turn into a millionaire, I'll build a life size Orville. They are probably in storage, says Mercer Create. You know, I would hope that at least part of it is in storage. Yeah. They could honestly have Dwight Schultz turn into a spider on the Orville. If they bring those spider creatures back from Krill space, maybe he could be their leader. Ooh, maybe a good leader, good spider leader. Yeah, Dwight Schultz is a amazing actor. Barclay is one of my favorite characters from Star Trek. He's 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 a secondary character, but he is one of my favorite characters. Um, yeah, yeah, yes, Cardinal Sin. I mean, there was rumors that they were destroyed, they were torn up, maybe they were dismantled. Um, yeah, they were definitely not let up. It was too costly to leave them up. And hmm. You know what? Listen, I'm going to say, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this again. If you're going to do something that expensive, you built it you build it. And I don't mean in the past, but from now on, if you're going to build something that expensive and you're thinking long term, and the show has its following now, uh, Seth, rent a piece of land, build one of these ridiculously simple warehouses to build that are dirt cheap. Just have a good security system on them, and leave, and you build something. You build something for the long term. And I know I know I'm talking out of my ass, but I'm sorry, but as business, it makes sense to have that, to keep that around for the fans. And you do the Orville experience there once a year. Do a special Orville experience there once a year. I heard Stanley Kubrick destroyed the sets of 2001, so the studios couldn't reuse them. So sad. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Fi. The episode could be Orville is sent to get Schultz to take him to a ceremony honoring him, and he recounts how he was just lucky to survive all the events he was a hero in. Oh, yeah, I love that. I love that. Yes. Hopefully Seth is listening. How can we be sure they're actually they were actually physical sets? It may just be a holodeck. There you go. It may just be a holodeck. Yes. Dwight Schultz is probably getting too old. He's 74. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, it depends. Like if he's just going to be in a few episodes, it's doable. I mean, the whole TNG cast is up there too. For example, Obi-Wan Kenobi was originally going to have an adventure with Luke. Cray Cray K found out and did the script and found somebody to write that followed her agenda, turned into a hot garbage. Yeah, it was there was problems with it. The term for putting sets in storage is fold and hold. It says the Loyal Order of Classic TV. Thank you for saying that. I didn't know that. Fold and hold. Colonel Jeff says, I thought Obi-Wan Kenobi was pretty good. Says Professor Brainy Specs. If you're talking out of your ass, please try to enunciate. There you go. There you go, Mercer Create. Yes. A great Isaac line. One of the best Isaac lines. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, guys. Listen, I do think that one of these let's take one more look at this picture before let's see if we can spot any Easter eggs in here. Is there a Ted in here? Is there a teddy bear in here somewhere? Is there a Starfleet uniform in here somewhere? To be honest, like this should be, you guys are seeing this, right? Yeah. This right here should be his head. And I got to say, I don't really see anything there. This right here should be his head. That looks like an arm. And let's see. Where is the Ted? Where is the Ted teddy bear in here? I see. Hold on. Let me check one thing. Where is there a Ted? There's a teddy bear in there somewhere. Those almost look like two eyes right there. Oh, I don't know. It looks like a ghost there. I have to really take a good look at this. Maybe in a different frame it looks better. Well, this is very well done. These 5 Gordons here. Take care, Phantom Outsider. Have fun at Klobby. But there is a Baby Yoda in there. There is a Baby Yoda in there. Is there a Baby Yoda in there? Are you joking? Are you serious? You think there's a Baby Yoda in there? He can't see himself without that. Yeah, I don't listen. That rumor, we're going to address that rumor next time. We're going to address the rumor next time of Seth not being part of the Orville. And I'm going to be completely honest, that doesn't make much sense. If we got to a point down the road where there was a spinoff, then it could make sense for that. But not now. I don't think so. I don't think so. Seth proved himself to be a great dramatic actor. Yeah, he absolutely did. Yeah, I agree, Mercer Create. I need time to read the novella. I have thought about having the narrated version with our favorite, one of our favorite Planetary Union presidents reading it to us. But I think that I'm gonna try to read it. Hey, yes, and again from Orville 24/7. Good to see you. Yes, you'll have to catch up on the rewatch, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, basically, PJ's lost his mind and is telling everybody, Lydia, that the Orville is going to somehow be connected to the new Ted series, and that's why Seth took Scott Grimes so he could play Gordon Malloy, living on Earth in the 21st century, and creating the Ted, creating Ted basically. There really is a Baby Yoda in there. Well, I would love to see Gil point this out to me. That's some. I mean, I guess you'd have to. First of all, you'd have to also look. This is one frame. This is a screenshot. You might have to look at a instant. Oh, see this right here. Okay, I see the baby. I see the Yoda right there. I could see this being the head of a Yoda right there, where it should be his head, but I'll have to see a slightly different frame. I could see the Yoda in there, right there, being the head. Oh, you read it while listening. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Animated series, less work, and Ted and Seth is good at making cartoons. Yeah, he's got a big team making cartoons, right? Yeah. Oh, where I saw the two eyes. So, right here where I saw the two eyes. See, I see the Yoda here. I see the Yoda head here, Gil. I see the Yoda head here, but I saw the two eyes over here. See, I see the Yoda head right here. Right there. I don't know if you guys see it. And I see I see two eyes right here. I kind of almost see two eyes right here too. On this Yoda head. Let's see. It really is good. That's it up top. So you're saying it's here, the Yoda head. Oh, I see it. Oh, the big eyes. Oh, these are two eyes. Oh, there he is. This is his hands. And that's oh, there you go, Gil. You're right. I see it now. Those are his two eyes. And like its ear right here. And his hands right here. The two I see it. Yeah, thanks, Gil. I see it. Awesome. I see it right there. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Wow. Guys, this is why you should sub to Cardinal Sin. This is why you cannot be not. This is why you cannot be not sub to Cardinal Sin. Yeah, thanks. Fine. I see it, Gil. Yeah, I do see it now. I'd be interested. Maybe there's maybe in another frame it looks better. So I think the Mochlins used a fake Luminite to get information. It was a drone. I would agree with that, Mercer. I would agree. Or just take acid. Yeah, look at another frame or just take acid. Yeah. Wow. No, I totally see it now. I actually totally see it now. Because look, let's see it. Let me just see. Let's see a picture of a Baby Yoda just to compare. Hold on, let's get a Baby Yoda here. We should call him Grogu. Yes, we should call him Grogu. So here is we see like the two buggy eyes right here, and just to compare, If we see a baby Yoda, he's from a different angle, but those big on the baby they look bigger they do on Yoda. His eyes look a little bigger on the baby Yoda than they do on Yoda himself. So those two eyes right there. I see it. I mean, I could totally see it actually. I see him. You can't unsee it. Yeah, you can't unsee it. I thought the leader of the mocking delegation to Krill was smooth. Then Talia says, "I hope you have something of better interest, something of interest to offer." And they say, "That is for you to decide." I thought smooth. Doc Civil like that, huh? You can't unsee it. Yep. Domino had the most number of ships in one frame I've ever seen. Mercer Create said. Phi says, "No, it's not Yoda. It's Baden. It's not Baby Yoda." If anything, we'll probably see an episode of Ted with Ted watching television and the train channel from Family Guy to the Orville and complaining that this is Seth MacFarlane guys everywhere. That'd be I can see that. I can see that. Probably just paranoia, pareidolia. Oh man. We'll have to, thanks for pointing that out, Gil. Did you just see that now, by the way, Gil? Did you just see that now? Because I see it now too. Did you just see that now, or did you hear it somewhere? Did you hear like JP say it or something? Too much LDS. I mean, yeah, maybe it is interpretation of maybe it is how we interpret things, right? You said about 5 minutes ago. Okay. That's interesting. I'm gonna look at a earlier frame and a later frame now. Well, listen, guys. So just remember that when Ted series comes out, remember it was Crazy PJ saying that Gordon Malloy will be starring. I don't mean Scott Grimes. I mean Gordon Malloy will be starring in the new Ted series. Yes, it does. Says John DeMarco. I see two Grogus. Says Phi. I see two. I know. See, all right. I see. Okay, like this right here too. You're saying. Well, see, that's the one. I really see these buggy eyes now, huh? I really see those buggy eyes. I'm gonna say something here. I actually see this right here. You guys see this right here? I swear to God, that looks like Alec Guinness in an Obi-Wan Kenobi robe right here. You see this right here? Well, how do I suit? How do I do it correctly? This looks like a Jedi right here, in a robe. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I've done too many Rorschachs in my life. I'm seeing a Jedi. I'm Jedi in a robe here. A hand. Or, I don't know. I'm seeing a Jedi right here. I'm seeing the Jedi robe right here. Does anybody else see the Jedi right here? What do you guys think? Anybody else see that Jedi? Oh man, they're gonna think we're totally nuts. They're gonna think I'm totally nuts. I see two Grogos, says Phi. Saruman, says Phi. Maybe Lauren is related to Jon Favreau. Mercer Create says. Orville Nation, we may be overanalyzing a Maya or Bryce effect. Yes, we may. We may. I think the longer we stare at this picture, the more things we'll think we see. Either a Jedi in a robe or Katharine Hepburn as a nun. There you go, Carlson. That's not a Jedi. That's a Sith Lord. Oh, change the frame. Yeah, if I can change the frame, I can't do it now. This is a screenshot, but I'm gonna go back and look at it. Hepburn nun. Yeah, it's a Hepburn nun. Anything is possible. It says Maria. Seth is not predictable. Um, yeah. Well, thank you guys for being such great sports. And you know, yeah. Bear in mind, this is one frame of them. So, uh, this is one frame of Gordon Malloy getting knocked back by the Aronoff device, and then like branching off into 5. I do think that the moment of him being branched off into 5 is kind of the, oh, now I really see the Jedi. I'm sorry, guys. Now I'm really seeing the Jedi right here. Look at that. I really see it now. I see like Obi-Wan Kenobi there, like Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi with his hood right there. Anyway, I'm gonna go back and see and watch it better. I love when Border Steel's the best man thing. Me too. What do you mean? You see the Jedi, or are you referring to? I love I love Eighth. Oh, I love humans. Always seeing patterns in things that aren't. The Eighth Doctor. I'm sorry, that aren't there. I know. I followed Waldo. There you go. There we go. There, Waldo was there. In the Gordon Malloy multiverse. All kidding aside, says Mercer Create. Have to return to work, guys. Keep hope alive. Good to see you, Doc. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to wrap up too. I'm seeing Old Yoda too. You're seeing Old Yoda too? I see Old Yoda right here. Yeah, I see Baby Yoda here. Old Yoda right here. That's what I see. And I didn't expect us to get so involved with this image. So Gordon hated it more than Kalon Invasion. Hey, Todd, good to see you. Orville Nation, I gotta hit the sec. Yes, go hit the sec, my friend. We're about to wrap up. Good night, everybody. Good night to Cardinal Sin. Thank you for joining us, Cardinal Gill. Make sure you're a sub to Cardinal Sin. And one of those Gordons found Carmen San Diego. There you go. All right, guys. Well, I want to just leave you with that thought. That we have some wonderful surprises in store for us when Seth eventually comes out with the new TED series, and yeah, we're going to be surprised, just like Ted is. We're going to be surprised. We're going to be really surprised. We'll see what happens. I think I'm actually really looking forward to the TED project, and of course, you know that we're going to be covering it for sure as being a Seth project. Good night, Moon. Good night, everybody, guys. Good night, Phi. I thought it was just getting started. Didn't announce it until Twitter game. Oh, I'm sorry, Todd. Todd, basically, Crazy PJ was telling everybody that when the TED series starts up, that that we're gonna see Scott Grimes actually playing Gordon Malloy, and maybe he invents TED. So or something along those lines. So thank you, Maria. PJ keeping the fire alive. Thank you, PJ. Thank you, Maria. Maria is always keeping the fire alive. Thank you, Maria T and Telly, for keeping the fire alive on your channel. Thank you all for being here, for sharing, liking the stream. You guys rock. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Tokyo Trekker, for hanging out. And yeah, this community is the best. Absolutely. This community and our greater community on YouTube, we grow together, guys. And don't forget to put in your channels before we wrap up to make sure that people are subbed. Hey, JRC99, good to see you. JRC99, if you're just getting in here, Crazy PJ is telling everybody that Seth will somehow connect Ted and the Orville, and you might see Scott Grimes playing Gordon Malloy. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm kind of kidding and I'm kind of not, because I mean, like, if anybody could do it, it would be Seth. But because one of those Gordon Malloys is living in the 21st century. I'm just saying, one of those Gordon Malloys is living out his life. At least one of those Gordon Malloys is living out his life in the 21st century. Ted has a box of Kleenex next to his computer. Thank you, Professor Brandy Specs, for joining us, my friend. Thank you, John DeMarco and all his Luminites. Hope they serve you as great nightlights at night. Thank you, Five, for hanging out with us. And all right, guys. So we're gonna wrap up. That is Tokyo Trekker's channel. Make sure you are subbed to that. And good night, Lydia. Thank you for being here. Good night to everybody. So thank you, Loyal Order of Classic TV. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, John DeMarco. Yes, and again, Lydia from Orville 24/7. Tokyo Trekker, Todd, Fi. Thank you for joining us, Fi. John DeMarco and all his Luminites. Professor Brainy Specs, the master historian, and Nate. And Nate will someday warn us about his upcoming channel at some point when he is ready to go. Cardinal Sin, thank you for joining us, Cardinal Sin. Doc Civil, let's see who else was in here earlier. MA, good to see you. Everybody else who was in here earlier. Mercer Create. Let's see. Nate, and scrolling back as far as I can to see who else was in here. Phantom Outsider, and good to see you, Nihilist Shadow, Doc Civil, Jack Beers. Good to see all of you in here. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will be back soon with some talk about crazy rumors about Seth believing the Orville and how crazy they are. And our really quick, our sounds like a pirate. Our what is it called? Our members only stream will be about Yaphet and Norm McDonald, and I will be announcing that very soon for our members only stream. Hello, Charles Long. Good to see you, Charles Long. Hashtag renew the Orville. On the final note, guys, we will use Charles Long's comment there. On a final note, don't forget hashtag renew the Orville. Don't forget to do that challenge. Watch a little bit of Orville every day, and try to watch a little bit of season 3 every day. And thank you. Good to see you, Dan Crane. Keep watching the Orville on Disney and JRC99. Good to see you guys. We will be back. And Jim Henry, good to see you jumping in here, Jim Henry. We are wrapping up, my friend, and you can watch the replay, and you can see how PJ is telling everybody that Scott Grimes is going to be somehow he's going to be Gordon Malloy on Ted in the Ted series, and he's going to invent Ted or something. Who knows? So anyway, good night, guys, and yeah, we want to see the Calavan. Or Record 2 again. Good to see all you guys. Have a great night. good morning, wherever you are. And we will be back soon. And we'll be back soon for that members only stream. Good night, guys. Thank you. And thank you to Cardinal Sin. Just really quick, Futurama is back, baby, says Cardinal Sin. Thank you for the $2, my friend. And Futurama is back. I want to hear more about that. Futurama is back, says Cardinal Sin. So thank you guys. Have a great night. Thank you, Gil. Make sure you guys are subbed to Cardinal Sin, guys.